Weekly Outdoor Plus is a new and exciting outdoor show presented by Bucks and Bulls Archery in Stevens Point. Starring new owner Gary Hintz. His youngest son, the show pro, Jace Hintz. And the show producer, creator, and host, his oldest son, Seth Hintz. So now sit back and relax and get ready to learn about archery and the world of the outdoors. This week on Weekly Outdoor Plus, Gary is down in Central Illinois visiting Steve, and this time along with him is Scott and Brad. Today they're out checking a few cameras that they set up a while back earlier this year, and setting out a few new cameras before this year's hunting season, along with cleaning up some stands and getting everything else ready for when hunting comes around.
Opening too,
yeah.
Everything walks through.
Well, must be a funnel. There's trails here. They'll like meet up right here in the section.
We don't have a stand in this area.
I'm gonna need to put one up here.
See what's on this camera if it looks good. There's a lot of area here to put a stand. I know just across this little creek here, there's either corn or beans.
Yeah. You may be coming a bit up in this tall grass too. Yep, right there.
Oh, Scott. Look at it, I'm sweating.
You know, I'm sweating too.
We got two new ones in. We checked a couple. Now we got a friend who lives close by here, Steve. He's got a four-wheeler. We're gonna go grab the four-wheeler for the rest of them.
Otherwise, it's over a mile walk.
And it's getting hot. I'm getting old, you know.
Exactly. Make it easier. It's too hot in the summer.
It's a beautiful day though.
Absolutely.
For this time of year. It's like 79 or 80.
We got
middle of August, it could be 99.
3 more to check, a couple more to put out. Hopefully we have something on there too.
Yeah.
Gonna start.
I brought a reader so we can see what it looks like.
Start planning ahead for the fall where we're gonna sit for opening weekend.
It ain't that far off.
October 1st? No, it's not.
Alright, let's get her done.
Month and a half.
Let's get
All
the
right.
four-wheeler.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned to see what Gary and Scott find on their trail cameras this year. Coming up later on Weekly Outdoor Plus.
Inside you, there's an outside you. A you that finds your dinner by finding your dinner's dinner. A you that isn't afraid to pick a fight with something that has a sword for a nose. This is for that you.
On December 15, 1791, the Supreme Court introduced the Second Amendment into the Bill of Rights in America. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Proudly display your support of the right to bear arms with this one-of-a-kind Second Amendment Eagle print for only $79.95 plus shipping and handling. Find them online at woodmatframes.com. Just 7 miles east of Stevens Point, Matero's Pub and Pizza. It's worth the drive.
Hi, welcome to Frank's Hardware in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Proud to be family owned and operated since the 1940s.
Conveniently located on Highway 10, Frank's Hardware has all your general hardware needs, and we specialize in a wide variety of products, meaning all of your paint, lawn and garden, plumbing, electrical, and many more of those household needs.
Not only do we have a new one,
But we can show you how to fix what you already have.
Did you know Frank's Hardware also offers a wide variety of services?
so stop on down to Frank's Hardware today. We don't just have great products,
But we have great service.
This mineral is a game changer. I've put the odds in my favor. It's time to close the deal. I wouldn't change a thing. Finally, the buck of a lifetime. Real Deal Mineral. The results speak for themselves.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's lesson segment on Weekly Outdoor Plus. Jason Hintz here with you again, and as I told you guys last week, we went over all the different ways to set up your bow for hunting and all the different options to put on it and what's more beneficial. Well, this week we're going to go over releases and what kind of different hunting releases there are and what's going to work for you and what the positive and negatives about them are. The main two differences are your index finger and your thumb trigger releases. The index finger is what the common person basically calls like a hunting release. You got a lot of control over your index finger, which a lot of people end up not shooting as well with, because when they get nervous they end up either punching it or flinching while they're doing it and anticipating the shot. Where the thumb trigger, you have a lot more self-control and you lock it in a lot easier and you can make more of a true good shot while you're aiming at the animal, which is a lot more beneficial in my opinion. The other thing that is really big to think about is even thumb triggers, you can get wrist straps for them, and same with your index finger ones. The one downfall on that is when you're sitting in your stand, or if you're in a ground blind, it's not as big a deal, but it's always hanging from your wrist, and it's so easy to forget that it's there and hit your hand on some metal, and your release is going to be hitting all this metal and it's louder. And then the other thing too is, I mean, with the ones that you don't have on your wrist, if you don't grab them consistently, the thumb triggers are always pretty consistent, but the index finger ones, you can grab them inconsistently and sometimes it'll be harder to reach your trigger. So you have to think about different things like that. And I recommend shooting quite a bit with whatever release you're actually going to hunt with, just so you can get comfortable with it and get more in touch with where it's going to be on your finger, where you're going to lock your hand in, and the whole 9 yards like that. They're not really going to shoot, if you know how to shoot them both correctly, they're going to shoot the exact same. The only other thing is when you're buying a release, that's one thing I would say please invest a little bit more in, because the more high quality release you get, the more you really get bang for your buck. It's going to have less trigger travel, and when I say that, it's if you're squeezing your trigger slowly, it will move if it's a cheaper release, and it'll keep moving and moving until it shoots. Well, every time it moves, every guy gets so much more nervous, and you shoot worse. So if you get a little higher end one, it won't have that trigger travel. You can also adjust the tensions on all of your releases, which you should do before you even start shooting to make sure that it's going to shoot well for you. If you don't have trigger travel on it, try to set it a little bit harder, just to force yourself to squeeze harder and focus more on just shooting instead of the back part of your shot so much. And then once hunting comes along, you can set it wherever you're comfortable with. But if you have a really light set trigger, everybody's scared to put their finger on it, and that's not something that you ever want to encounter. So make sure you're comfortable setting your finger on the release and knowing it's not going to shoot until you want it to. Go over those things on your release this week, see what you can do, see if it's, not making any noise, not squeaking. Think about if you really want a wrist strap release, or if you'd rather have either a thumb trigger without a wrist strap or even an index finger. They sell a lot of them without wrist straps as well, if you look in the right places. Look into all of them. They're all quality. Just make sure, again, pick something that's going to work for you and practice with it as much as you can. Within the upcoming weeks, we're going to go over more hunting tips and a lot of, different arrow selections and broadhead selections and things along those lines. So make sure you guys tune in next week, and hopefully I'll see you then.
Get your photos on an upcoming episode during our fan photo segment presented by Barbershop, your vacuum and sewing machine headquarters, where you buy with confidence. Simply send us your photos with a brief description to weeklyoutdoorplus@live.com or find us on Facebook. Then watch for yourself in every week's new fan photo segment. Now let's see who sent us their photos this week. Our first picture this week is of the Bucks and Bulls shed dog out on the open water. And this next one is of Tom, who arrowed this buck with his wood bow and cedar arrow. And here we have one from Melissa, who was tracking this deer down on Harrison Hills for a picture. And next we have James Cluck shed hunting out west. And this one comes from Casey, Bowen, and Brody out shooting at a 3D tournament. And our next one was sent to us from Bree Merced of this 19 1/4 inch smallmouth she caught in Arbor Vitae. And here's one from Bryce, who also landed a monster smallmouth. And our last picture this week comes from Hubble with this 53 inch 41 pound personal best muskie. Thank you to all of this week's entries in our fan photos segment presented by Barbershop. Don't miss out on your chance to be part of the show by sending in your photos to weeklyoutdoorplus@live.com or find us on Facebook. Now back to the show.
Optimizer by HHA Sports. The Optimizer Lite Ultra, voted #1 single pin adjustable sight for 10 years running. The Optimizer Speed Dial for crossbows, to the yard accuracy with a single reticle. And the Optimizer Horizon, offering unmatched accuracy from both short and long range firearms. All Optimizer sight systems utilize range dial shoot technology. Ask for Optimizer at a dealer near you.
Matero's Pub and Pizza is located on Highway 66 in Polonia, Wisconsin. Come join us.
Real Deal Mineral. The results speak for themselves.
Introducing the Yeti Hopper. Leak-proof, ice for days, tough as nails. Built to go the extra mile, and then some.
What we're going to be going over is not how to make the perfect shot, but how to get to the point so that perfect shot that we've been talking about making for how long, how we can make that become a reality, and how to make it, the best chances, and how to make you calm your nerves and stuff along those lines. The first thing is obviously be confident in your shot by how many times you're going to be practicing and everything, going over the perfect form like we talked about. And again, if you practice it every day, it's going to be like riding a bike. Once you get the form down, it gets a lot easier. Then it's all your nerves and all your mental game and setting up and preparation. So first thing is, with turkey hunting especially right now is what I'm going to reference to. Most of you guys are going to be hunting on fields majority of the time. Shooting on an open field is a lot harder than deceiving on telling how far the birds are going to be from you. One, they're a little bit smaller, but it's on a wide open field, so you might think they're a lot farther. You might also think they're a lot closer when they're all strutted up and big because, they look a lot bigger. But you got to also know when they're really small, they're going to look like they're a lot farther. So the easiest way to do this is either one, have your rangefinder on hand at all times so you can either do it yourself or have someone next to you be telling you how far they are. Another thing would be get some sort of peg or flag in your yard. Anything, if you have someone public service come and mark your pipes, take them flags and save them. Put them in your field at 20, 30, 40. You're not going to scare anything away with simple flags like that. If you're worried about that, get more natural things. Put certain size rocks out there so you can tell 20, 30, 40 yards. Being prepared and knowing your distance is going to be key to making a perfect shot because you're not going to be worrying in the back of your head, is it 20 yards, is it 30 yards, is it 40 yards? You're going to know it's 25.5 yards because it's halfway between these rocks or stumps or flags, whatever you put out. The next thing is, so you don't have to, basically it's almost like a dummy system where you know what to do. Easiest way to do it, in my opinion, is write it down in steps, okay? So first thing, know my distance. Second thing I want you to do is make sure that you're going to be having an idea of where they're coming from so you can be properly positioned like we talked about. Especially if you're going to stay seating, have your body turn in the correct position to be shooting at what you're going to be your target. The next thing is you already know your form and everything. You know your shot process. It's going to be pick out that spot on the animal. Don't be looking at the turkey's big fan. Don't be looking at its big beard. Don't be looking at, its beautiful head or whatever you're looking at. Look at that little patch of feathers that you want to pound your arrow through. Find the creases that match up where you can hit it right there. Or if it's facing away from you, find the perfect spot to shoot it. If you basically know your distance, you know what you're going to be shooting at, you know where you're going to be shooting at it. You already know the form part. We already went over that for how long. Now you just got to be confident in your shot. You've made the shot, 10 times in a row. You shoot a group this big, well, why not put one arrow right there? It's only one arrow. It's not that hard. Think about it like that. Think about it as a one arrow shot instead of worrying about killing it or not. Because on most of these animals, you're going to be shooting at the size of a softball. If you can't shoot at the size of a softball, you might want to shoot closer or practice more, because then you'll be confident in shooting at that size of an animal. And pick the perfect spot. You miss it by an inch, you still hit vitals. You still kill the animal. So plan ahead on where you can actually get your perfect shot. Make sure that you got everything set up so you feel comfortable. You don't want to be guessing about, the wind. You don't want to be guessing about, is the sun going to be glaring off of something? You don't want to worry about how far it really is. Make sure you have all your different variables figured out ahead of time, even while you're sitting there. If you didn't do it, if you didn't scout enough before you get there, make sure you scout when you're sitting there. Don't just be looking around for turkeys right away or looking around for deer right away. Get these different markers down, plan ahead, okay? Know exactly what you're going to be doing. Have a fallout plan, and set ranges for yourself. If you don't have it where, it's at 50 yards, I think I can take that shot. If you don't think you can and you're pretty confident in that, plan ahead of time and then work on getting them closer. You win some, you lose some. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But the more good shots you make, the more consistent you get, the more happy you're going to be, and the more success you'll have with making the exact shot that you need. You know how to make the one good one. Now you got to make the one that counts. And all it is again, you've done it 100 times. There's no reason to be nervous. It's a simple, same shot you've always made. Don't worry about that. Pick your spot is the big key, and then know your distances so you're not second guessing everything.
Next time you go out, make it memorable at Matero's Pub and Pizza. Bucks and Bulls Archery is Central Wisconsin's favorite archery supply and pro shop. Located at 3272 Church Street in Stevens Point, they have an indoor range, video archery room, and fully stocked pro shop. Professional equipment repair and NFAA certified archery instruction also available. Get in now for a single or group lesson.
Hi, I'm Gary, owner of Bucks and Bulls. Stop in and see us soon.
Optimizer by HHA Sports. The Optimizer Lite Ultra, voted #1 single pin adjustable sight for 10 years running. The Optimizer Speed Dial for crossbows, to the yard accuracy with a single reticle. And the Optimizer Horizon, offering unmatched accuracy from both short and long range firearms. All Optimizer sight systems utilize range dial shoot technology. Ask for Optimizer at a dealer near you.
Hi, welcome to Frank's Hardware in Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Proud to be family owned and operated since the 1940s. Conveniently located on Highway 10, Frank's Hardware has all your general hardware needs, and we specialize in a wide variety of products, meaning all of your paint, lawn and garden, plumbing, electrical, and many more of those household needs. Not only do we have a new one,
but we can show you how to fix what you already have. Did you know Frank's Hardware also offers a wide variety of services?
So stop on down to Frank's Hardware today. We don't just have great products,
but we have great service.
Wood mat frames are fully customizable handcrafted wood frames. Choose your style of frame, then customize the white maple, cherry, or alderwood mattings with any logo, image, or text. Each and every frame is handmade in Central Wisconsin by Master Woodworks, whose creativity and precision led to the creation of these great new frames. Whether you're looking for a single frame or something for the whole group, woodmatframes.com is the place to go. Check us out online or email sales@woodmatframes.com for pricing and ordering information. So when you're ready to put another memory on the wall, come to woodmatframes.com and make it extra special.
Do you guys know that you can test the straightness of your arrow without any extra tools? If you guys missed any of my other lessons and tips, feel free to check them out on the Hintz Media YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.
There's a lot of deer tracks here, Scott.
There is. Huge trail. A couple of them lead in.
There'd be about 2,000 pictures on there.
1,471 pictures.
1,500 pictures of ants. Can you see the read it at least?
Yeah.
One time when I had this problem, I'd take that granules, ant poison stuff, and put it on a tree, and I never had that problem. This tree is covered with ants. I don't know what we're going to do. Put it back in there.
Yep.
Maybe that one's more ant proof. See a little better.
Is there such a thing?
You think it would be if they're waterproof, you know. The rain don't get in out of it. We had a little trouble driving in here. The four-wheeler's splitting and sputtering almost out of gas.
Wonderful. Great day.
Put the reserve tank on, hope we can get back to the truck. Otherwise, we got to call for help because there's no way we're going to walk.
Great day. Great day. One camera didn't have any pictures on it. That or I put the wrong card in.
2 for 2 full of ants.
The other one's wrecked.
That tree's covered with ants. Did you turn it back on?
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Water was up that high. The water washed mud right in your lockbox. Unbelievable. How many pictures we got?
794.
This area we hunt pretty hard. Oddly. Don't put it back in there. You think he put the wrong card back? Same card he took out back in the first camera?
I hope I did. Otherwise the camera's shot.
Didn't have any pictures on it. There has to be some pictures. Okay, we drove back about 2 miles off the road, maybe more, with the four-wheeler. We come back here to switch a card out at a camera. And while we're doing that, Scott brought a new seat for this ladder stand behind us because the chipmunks or squirrels or raccoons ate the seat off, so he's putting a metal one on. We cut the shooting lanes here in the spring. They're still somewhat cut, but they grew up a lot. The bugs are really bad, really bad. At the last place we were at, we had to stop and get some gas because we ran out of gas on a four-wheeler right next to the trailer. For the truck and the trailer, we ran out right there, so all we do is push it on. But while we were pushing it on, I got attacked by a dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was. I thought it was a Rottweiler or something. It wanted to bite me. And so I was kind of fighting it with the camera legs of the tripod, trying to keep it away while Scott was getting the truck on the, or the four-wheeler on the trailer. So we've had some bad luck so far. Ants in our cameras. One camera didn't work. Attacked by a dog, ran out of gas. Bugs are so bad we can't stand it. No. Sweating like a pig. We can get this seat fixed and get out of here. We saw one deer driving in. We haven't seen a lot of deer, but we usually don't this time of year. We checked one card, part of it already. There's a couple decent bucks. Nothing monsters yet, but we got a lot of pictures to look at yet. So I'm gonna help Scott get this done and get out of here. with this camera here is there's 2 trails crossing right here. And I have a stand down there, and I got a stand down there. I'll put it on these 2 trails and see what's crossing between the trails. Between the 2 stands. Good, both trails. And we'll get Nina. Got full of stickers. Nina the shed dog. Good dog. Get knock some brush down so when the wind blows it doesn't keep setting off the camera. You like that better? The facing you, both trails. Nina, do you like it? Raised it up so I can get over this hill. There's less foliage, branches and stuff can be blowing around in front of it. 2 trails. Beautiful. Stand in each direction.
Once the guys were done, they were able to sit down and weed through a bunch of their pictures. As they had so many to pick from, they decided to share a few good ones with us to end today's show. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Weekly Outdoor Plus presented by Bucks and Bulls Archery in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Don't forget to check us out online at facebook.com/weeklyoutdoorplus. See you next week.